Hi guys, I am Sandeep, and today is my first video on finance knowledge sharing sessions. And these will be very small videos. I am planning to do them like on regular basis, every week or so. So I will be using primarily English, but sprinkle it with Hindi, Kannada, Telugu, even Malayalam words. They are very good words. So today we are going to discuss mid-year discounting. I am directly going to a topic which is like bit of advanced, not a beginners. So don't worry. During the course of series, different videos, I will be touching from basics to niche to advanced topics. Not a big, not an issue. So today, mid-year discounting. So what is mid-year discounting? Sometimes the deal team or we also assume that the cash flows, the unlevered cash flows that we are calculating and assuming at year end, they are actually coming throughout the year. Because a company, for example, doing some sales, it is not like something is happening on 31st December. It is something that is happening throughout the year. So sometimes while doing DCF, we try to capture that by using assuming that the cash flow for that time period, for example, from 1st January to 31st December, it will happen on 30th June, like the mid of the year. So that kind of convention, when we are assuming that the cash flow for that particular year is going to happen at mid of the year, that's called mid-year discounting. The big catch is sometimes while modeling, we do bit of mistakes while doing that. So today we'll discuss the intricacies, bit small intricacy, but a good one. So we are assuming like that is the our date of valuation. We are assuming zero time period, and after that there is a year and one till let's assume till 5 years, 3 years, 4 years. Not a big deal. So free cash flows are happening, but in mid-year discounting, we are saying it will happen at 0.5 plus 1 1.5 plus 1 year plus 2.5. So actually, after first mid-year point 0.5, it is still moving by 1 year in case of discounting. Just zero point 0.5 plus 1 1.5, so on 4.5 till year 5. So I'm not going to discuss what is WAC in this video, but we discount our cash flows with a discount factor, and that discount factor is 1 by 1 plus WAC, and that has to be given to exponent of the time period. uh, Present value concept, for example, if you are standing at year and 5, you need to 1 plus r by 5 is your future value. When you divide it 1 plus r by 5, it is your present value. Same concept here while discounting, so not a big concept here. Similarly, 1 plus 1.5, 1.5 to power till 4.5. The concept comes when we need to calculate the terminal value. Now in DCF, there are two parts where we forecast one explicit cash flow periods like 5 years, 7 years, 10 years. And after that, we need to assume a terminal value which encapsulates every cash flow till infinity so this is the concept of terminal value. So when we are using, there are two methods. First is perpetuity growth method. Now here we are assuming, let's assume the last cash flow is happening here that we have forecasted. So now there is a growth rate. We assume that growth rate is perpetual growth rate. We are assuming that after this time period or this cash flow will keep on growing by this. So this year 5 F6, it will be that F5 plus 1 plus growth rate. So that is actually next year, and so on, so on. So we are moving from 4.5 to 5.5, 6.5, 7.5. And if I use the present value concept, the terminal value at 4.5 will be WAC minus growth rate. So what happens? When we are discounting, the discount factor used will be same. When we are discounting it to our time period 0, it will be 1 by 1 plus WAC to 4.5. So nothing will change here, because our last cash flow projected is at 4.5, and 1 year is 5.5, 6.5, so on. So when we are actually calculating the terminal value of those annuities starting from 5.5, we are taking its present value at 4.5, and that is given by cash flow into 1 plus growth rate by WAC minus G, that I have just written on the screen. So that's easy. Same discount for our projected cash flows, year 5, and same for terminal value. And we get to our total present value sum, and it's very easy. Things change a bit. Now, the other method is exit multiple method. Here, what we are saying, we need to calculate the terminal value. All other things remain same. Cash flow 4, 5, they are mid year, they are being discounted at same 4.5 year, the last cash flow. But what happens to terminal value? Now, terminal value is calculated using what we say is LTM EBITDA or some EBITDA, and we are multiplying it with a multiple like 7x, 10x. So a multiple is assumed. For example, if we are exiting the company at year end 5, so what is happening? The terminal value is calculated at year end 5, but in perpetuity growth rate, we are calculating it at 4.5. So the terminal value we are getting in exit multiple is at year end 5. Sometimes while doing modeling, I see my associates and other people, they actually mistakenly either discounted by year 4.5, which is also, we can do that like in a different method. So what we need to keep in mind that this terminal value is happening at year 5 end. So when we need to discount it, we will be using factor of time factor of 5, 1 plus fact to 5, not 4.5. But actually, when we model, we try to keep symmetries. So if for normal cash flows that we have projected, we are using 4.5, we want to use the same discount factor for terminal value also, because this is in modeling, we don't want to go and put another sometimes. So what we can do is, let's assume this is the terminal value we got here. We can then discount this terminal value, it is similar, 1 plus WAC by zero point 0.5 period. So what this is now happening here, same point. And now we can use the our common discount factors to discount both the cash flows. Similar thing, it's like 4.5 into 5 is 5, just a basic concept. But most of the people, sometimes they do a mistake. Either they do directly discount the terminal value calculated by exit multiple by 4.5. That is something we need to check out for. And this is a small concept, small videos. So hope you like it. Another videos will come after your feedbacks, comments. We will be touching more. Thank you, and see you.